Hey guys, welcome to our live stream tonight of Payette Forward streaming the unboxing of my new iPhone XS. Now I am super excited to open this box. I brought my XS racket just in case. If I had a rim shot, I would play that. We may have some special guests tonight. We may be joined by Tim Cook himself.
Absolutely breathtaking.
He has some really interesting things to say about the phone.
It's unbelievable momentum.
And we really think that it's
absolutely gorgeous.
And we feel the same way about Tim Cook, of course. This isn't going to be any fun unless you guys join me for some commentary. Let me know if you like the new iPhone XS, if you like to play XS, if you like the XR, if you have the XS Max. Are you going to upgrade to the XS? Have you bought it already? Do you have it? Have you taken it out of your box already? These are all things that I would like to know. Additionally, we will be giving away some $5 Amazon gift cards throughout the night. We'll do some trivia. And according to what I've heard, there have already been some problems with the batteries in the iPhone XS, which, as you can imagine, is no surprise to someone who has been an Apple tech. So I'm wearing my Pay It Forward shirt, but I also figured I would bring along my Apple hoodie, which was a Christmas gift one year when I was at Apple Tech, working at the Apple Store in Crossgates in upstate New York. And every year, the new iPhones would come out. They'd pull an all-nighter, 24 hours. And then all of a sudden, the phones would come out. People would be there at 6 a.m. The mall security were trying to kick people out. People wouldn't leave. Sometimes they would pretend that they couldn't understand the mall security, so they would say they just stand there and, I don't know. So anyway, I'd get there at 8 a.m. We'd open at 9. It'd be a big deal, big to do. So please, if you have any thoughts, feel free to hop into the live chat. And just want to say a quick hello to Rashil Gandhi. Hey man, what's up to you too? And Sayan Tumar, he's going to stick to the 10. Mr. Gandhi's saying, I really like the XR because of the color. Absolutely, that is pretty cool. It's nice to see colors again. And Vicky, hey, she's been using her new iPhone XS for a few hours now and absolutely loves it. That is a few hours more than I have used mine. So I'm glad that you're here, Vicky, because you can help guide us through the process of unboxing this awesome new phone. And we'll get started in just a minute. And the kind of battery problems that we're talking about here are the typical things. Now, I was surprised that people had already reported iPhone XS battery problems as of this morning because the phone came out today. So how really would they have known that there's this huge battery drain issue? But when the new iPhones come out, usually there are some hiccups. There are problems with upgrades. There are problems with iOS. So as most people know, or actually a lot of people didn't know this in the Apple Store, that 99% of the time when your iPhone runs out of battery too quickly, it's a software problem. So clearly if somebody's had a phone for 3 hours and the battery is brand new, and this is happening to a lot of different people, it's not a hardware problem with the phone itself. It's a software problem. So these phones may be shipping with software bugs, or there could be some issue with migrating from the old phone to the new phone, but I guess we'll see if we run into any of those snags. And throughout the night, we can talk about ways to save iPhone battery life, because they worked on the iPhone 4 and the 5 and the 6 and the 7 and the 8, not the 9 because it didn't exist, and they work on the 10. So it's really a lot of the same things that have worked all along still work today. So, Richard, big hey from Sweden to you, or well, I guess you're in Sweden. Big hey from New York to you in Sweden. Where are you guys from? Let me know. Love to know that. Let's do a little bit of Apple trivia here. And I'll give away my first $5 Amazon gift card for this little piece of trivia. If you win, please enter your email address in the chat. And it's not going to show up publicly. And if it did, I could just delete it right away. But I'm going to keep a running tally about who's winning. And then I can email all of these gift cards at the end of the night. And the first one is that there was one Apple product that came out. And it was released in March. And it had a connector. And then it came out pretty much exactly the same product in October when they changed the connector on the product. It was a big hit. Some people would say it wasn't really revolutionary, but it was resolutionary, as Apple said. What device am I talking about? Same device, 2 different connectors within about 6 months. Which device was that? First answer gets it right. And also I want to know the generation of the device. So not just the device, because there's only a few, right? So what generation, what device? Came out in March, I think. Re-released in October. Apple said, we're ditching the old connector. And then we're going to We are going, hey, not the Mac Air. Thank you, Janice, though. Good guess. Hungary, that's awesome. Nick H, hey, from the East Coast. I'm also on the East Coast, so hey. Well, I guess I'm in upstate New York, so people that are really on the East Coast might not think that I am, but Eastern time. So, Mac Air, nope. 2 Mac Air guesses. Why subscribe? Why not subscribe? That's what I say. But yeah, please subscribe to this channel if you like it. We come out with some really awesome iPhone tips. The website helps millions of people solve problems with their iPhones. And we're going to be launching a really new cell phone comparison tool where you can compare every phone, every plan from every carrier in the US and then overseas. Be able to find some great deals, exclusive discounts through our website, and we're just building that out. So it's something that we're excited about. It's a lot of work, but it's going to be worth it. So iPod Nano, no. iPad 2 and iPad 3, that is really close, but I need the generations. You've got the device right, and 2 and 3 is not the correct answer, Maureen. I'm sorry. So, Maureen, unfortunately, you're going to have to wait to the next one. So, 2 different devices. Well, actually, it's the same device. 2 different connectors. What product? We already said it was an iPad. Which 2 generations were it? About 6 months apart. They changed the connector from, the hint is, from the 30-pin dot connector cable. You guys remember those that came with the original iPods. Then they came out with the Lightning cable about 6 months later. But I think what they wanted to do is they wanted to release a Retina display iPad in March. So they did that, and then they released the Retina display iPad with the Lightning connector in October. So which 2 generations of iPads am I talking about? iPad 4 is one of the generations. Which is the other generation? And then I'm going to dive into this box right away, I promise. Not Air 1 and 2? Nope. Nope. This is before the Air. Before the Air was ever released. And the Air was a whole other thing, but this was a big leap too from the previous version. Not the iPad 5, nope. This has got nothing to do with the iPad Air. So, iPads, which generation? The first one had the 30-pin dot connector cable, the second one had the Lightning cable, same iPad. Which 2? It's not the iPad Air. Man, you guys are all around this with the numbers. It is close. It's $5, hangs at the balance right here. Nope. No, not the iPad 4 and the 4G. Don't think there was an iPad 4G. But, hey, not the Nano, not the Mini, not the 4 Mini. Nope. We're talking about 2 different generations here. It was an iPad, just a regular iPad. Not a Mini, not a Nano, not an Air. It was an iPad. Which 2 generations? The first one had the 30-pin dot connector cable. We're getting close, Vicky. Super close, but not the Mini 3 and 4. Yes, Visual Timer 1. Visual Timer 1, iPad 3rd edition, or 3rd generation and 4th generation. That is the one. The first one came out. It had the 30-pin dot connector cable. It was really cool. They said it was revolutionary because it was the first one with the Retina display. And then 6 months later, they came out with the exact same thing with the Lightning cable. And I bought my dad one for Christmas. And he still has the same thing. I actually have one too. They never break. So I hope you didn't buy AppleCare on that. Visual Timer 1, please put your email address in the chat. It won't appear publicly, and if it did, I would just delete it right away. And I'll get you a $5 Amazon gift card after we do this. So about to dive into the my new iPhone, the XS. I'm coming from this old piece of junk iPhone 10. We'll see if it's very different. And just, yeah, perfect. Tech Key, if you said the same thing, yeah, the iPad 4 and the new iPad 3rd gen. Yeah, you did say something like that, didn't you? iPad 4 and the new iPad 3rd generation. See, I just, Tech Key. I don't want to go to a review here, but you know what? It is close. Okay, Tech Key, put your email address in there. You get $5 too. I'm a fair person. I know when I make a mistake. It's worth $5 to me for you to hit the subscribe button. Please subscribe to this channel. For $5, I think it's worth it. Come on. So I brought myself a Leatherman or a Leatherman. It's not actually a Leatherman. A knife to dive into this thing. And got this fancy overhead view. I can try on for size. Got this box. Got my old phone ready. I think I have an iCloud backup. Just check that real quick. Let's see, settings, me, iCloud. Head down to iCloud backup. iCloud backup is on. Last successful backup, 3:01 a.m. Well, my iPhone was working when I was asleep. How about that? I'll start another backup now. I think it's actually going to give me that option as we set up the new phone, but we'll get a jump on that. If you don't have iCloud backup turned on, it's a good idea to turn it on because you never know what's going to happen to your stuff. And if you can't turn it on because you don't have enough space on your iPhone or in iCloud, if you don't have enough iCloud storage, you can turn off photo library sometimes. You can go in there and say, okay, I don't want to back up this one app. For instance, I have about 50 gigabytes of videos in this golf app that I have because I record my swing obsessively. And I don't back those up on iCloud because if I did, I'd have to pay a whole bunch of money to do it. So I just turn that one off. So cool little iCloud tip there for you. So this is backing up. Let's dive in. Thanks, Visual Timer. I'm going to take out your email address real quick. Boom. Okay, great. Let's just open up notes here so I can keep track of who's winning all the money. Great. Perfect. With which iPhone are you filming that shot? So the overhead shot is an old iPhone 5C, actually. Good call. The front camera is something else. It is a Nikon. iPhone 10 heating sometimes. Do you know why? Yes. You're putting it in the microwave. Nope. It's because you have a software issue with your iPhone. Software issues cause your iPhone, the CPU in your iPhone, to rev up to 100% and just get stuck there. So it's like a car. If you put your pedal or foot on the pedal and just hold it down, the engine, and it goes up to 100%, your car is going to overheat. The same thing kind of happens to your iPhone, actually, where if the CPU gets spiked up to 100% and gets stuck there because of a software crash, your iPhone will overheat. So that's why your iPhone gets hot when you play games or do things like that are more processor intensive. It'll get hot. It's actually because the CPU isn't really designed to run at 100% forever. It's designed to, get up there, spike, do its little thing, and then come back down to a cool 10%. So if you're having a battery problem and your iPhone's overheating and your battery's draining, it's all one thing, software problems. So many things are software problems. Tech Key, thank you for texting me or for sending me your email address. Expect the money. Okay, let's see here. Notes. Boom. Cool. Why an iPhone 5C? Because, hey, why not? Actually, you know what? I'm not loaded. I don't have iPhones lying around like crazy. And because it works, just right up there overhead. Gives me a second view. It's pretty cool. I have an excessive amount of other in storage. Is there a fix? You know what? We have a video about that. If you just search for what is other on iPhone on YouTube, you will find a video of myself and a guy that works with me, David, and we will walk you through that, explain what it is. Your iPhone is supposed to, short version, is supposed to manage that. You're not supposed to have to worry about it. There's a lot of things that end up on your iPhone and cached files and stuff, and iOS is supposed to manage those files for you. So before I get too distracted by answering a whole bunch of different iPhone questions, which I love to answer, and I used to do it all the time professionally, I do want to start diving into this box. So, don't I have my old iPhone 7 there? No? Do I think iOS 13 will come for the 5S? I don't think so, but maybe for the 3GS? Probably not. All right, overhead cam. I know the quality may leave something to be desired, but we're going to dive in. For additional information, call Chemtrek. Should we call Chemtrek? I think not. Boom. Seal is broken. Nobody steal my serial number. Come on, guys. Just kidding. Serial number fraud. Can I open the box is the question. Okay. Boom. Look at that. Comes in a super cool box. Apple actually does a really cool job building these types of boxes for shipping, make it easy to get out. So easy to get the phone out of the box. God. Okay. Boom. Pretty nice. It's nice. I like it. It's pretty cool. Nice bold in the back. I don't know if you guys have ever noticed this before, but there's always like a sticker. They put stickers on the back of the boxes. It's like they make the boxes and then they're like, we shouldn't have put that on the box. Let's put stickers on instead with the iPhone XS earpods. I wonder if there's anything under the sticker. That would be a job for a different day. So, looking pretty cool so far. Got the sort of bowling ball world on it. Okay, what is this on the front of the iPhone? I have no idea what this is. Ah, the yellow focus thing every time. Sorry, let me fix that real quick. I think if I put on focus lock, it won't do it. Wow, trippy, huh? Okay, I think we're just going to have to just deal with the focus thing for now. Like I said, we're still working out the kinks with this thing, with this live setup that we have here. And it's going. It's going. We're doing okay. We're doing okay. See, now I got that stupid thing there. Come on. All right, so we're going to have that little yellow box there. Now the big yellow box. Okay. Oh, I wish I could install an app on that. There's this really cool app called Filmic Pro, which is pretty cool. Sorry about the black screen there. And I love opening new phones too, Denise. So yeah, what is this on the front of the phone? I have no idea. Bowling ball? Marble? Probably a marble, right? Is it another planet? I heard that there was some incident recently at a NASA site where they discovered, something unidentified went in front of the sun. It wasn't another planet or the moon, definitely not that, or a satellite. It was an unidentified object. So anyway, this may be its home world. So let's dive into the box. Here we go. Let's go back overhead. So I got the 256 gig one. I didn't need the 512. 256 is more than enough. What does this include? The iPhone XS or the XS. EarPods, Lightning connector. Apple, when are we going to get AirPods for iPhone? I mean, really, guys? I mean, come on. Lightning to USB cable, USB power adapter. Supports CDMA, GSM, UTMS, and all this other stuff. So CDMA, it's a Verizon phone. Big fan of Verizon. So I'm going to open this up. Look at that. The kids, it's actually like really cool how all this stuff just falls away. The amount of engineering, and I know that I might sound a little crazy saying this, but the amount of engineering that goes into making like the cellophane and making it this shape and making it just work perfectly, like there was probably a team of people that worked on this, and I'm not exaggerating. I mean, it is quite amazing what Apple does with the boxes. And I don't know if you guys have ever tried to recycle one of these things, but they are really, really strong, these boxes. So you actually have to like tear them apart. And once you just put your back into it, it actually comes apart okay. But I did that recently with my old iPhone 7 box. Someone had asked where that is. So turning it over. One of the coolest things too, it's just like, boom, done. It's actually really cool how they're able to do that. It's like a reverse air thing. I don't know how they do it. I have a friend that makes boxes, actually, and this is no small feat. So we have the top of it. Let's take a look inside. This is designed by Apple in California. Soap bubble. Soap bubble. That makes sense. Denise thought it was a planet. Yo, what's up, Tuna Kebab? I love your vid. Thank you for saying you love our vids. Designed by Apple in California. So was the phone, by the way, overhead that's making this stupid orange thing all the time. Just you guys are bearing with me. I appreciate it. So open this up. Hello. Hello to you too, Mr. Booklet. Welcome to iPhone. Face ID. Face ID recognizes your face. Good. Control center. Swipe up to go home. Cool. Ring silent switch. Not the silent ring switch as it used to be called. Seriously, they changed it from silent ring to ring silent. Volume buttons. Tap to wake. 3D touch. Pretty cool. Side button. Press once to sleep or wake. Press twice to activate. Press and hold. Power off and SOS. Charging. You can do it air power, which is not out yet, of course, or a Qi certified wireless charger. I actually have a Qi charger that I use at night. It's next to my bed. It's pretty awesome. I haven't had to plug my phone in a very long time, which is very cool. $10, Amazon, Qi charger, go for it. QI, it is spelled. So, Thomas, quick question. Do you recommend upgrading to iOS 12? I'm worried. My answer to that question depends on the iPhone that you have right now. Generally, if you have an older iPhone, like if you have the last iPhone that was supported for iOS 12, I say don't do it, because the last version of iOS with the oldest device tends to slow it down like crazy. So Apple doesn't build devices that break. Apple builds devices that get slower. So and then you can never go back. So if you have iOS 11 and you upgrade to 12 on one of the oldest devices that it supports, you may go from a nice zippy phone to a really sluggishly slow phone, and then there's nothing you could do about it except for buy a new phone. So the hardware never breaks. I'm using a phone above for that overhead shot that is 6 years old, and it hasn't broken yet. So, too blessed. iOS 12 brought my 6 Plus back to life. Awesome. And Tuna Kebab just sold an iPhone 6S 64 gig unlocked with terrible battery life and a dead pixel for $300. Tuna Kebab, I hope that you were forthcoming about the shortcomings of your phone before you sold it. But if you weren't, I've done things too. It's okay. So, iOS 12 sped up the old 7 Plus and 8 Plus. Okay. Just to be clear, the 7 Plus and the 8 Plus are not old phones. I am talking the old phones. 7 Plus, 2 years old, come on. 8 Plus, last year, totally. 6S, so much faster in 12. I wanted to upgrade to 8, but I don't know. Yeah, true. Okay, cool. So we're having some positive feedback for iOS 12. I actually don't have the last device, but I don't know what the last device was. Was it the 5S? Was the oldest that could upgrade to iOS 12? Tuna Kebab, high five. Actually, in Apple, we used to say Wi-Fi, right? Wi-Fi, Tuna Kebab, for being an honest seller. It's time to dive into the phone. Here we go. Let's see. Taking it out. It's pretty cool. Now I'm just going to take my old iPhone, this old piece of trash, out of the case, and we'll just put them side by side to take a look at the difference. All right. Are they the same? Let's see. iPhone out of the way, get this out of the way. Yep, that looks pretty much the same. Yeah, same. Now, you could go on Apple's website to look at the specifications, but interesting. Okay, this is the old phone. If I can't tell the two phones apart, you know, might be a little disappointed. Maybe I should have bought a different color. Okay, let's just take a look. So front looks exactly the same. I just turned the phone on. How about that? Okay, interesting. Let's take the plastic off, the fun part. When I was at the Apple Store and we used to sell these phones all the time, people used to love taking them out of the box, just like I do right now. But it's interesting, I think part of the magic is ruined when you work at an Apple Store because you have this personal setup table. So people come to that and they have their phones. And so you basically, you know, do it all day long. Working at the Apple Store is like a big giant unboxing video 24/7, where half the time you're spent unboxing and the other half of the time you're helping people to reset their passwords that they forgot. Which is pretty much the job of an Apple technician, in addition to a whole lot of other things that they do very well, and which I did. But password resets. Should have had a password reset table, people. People don't know their passwords, but how could they? You know, 14 letters, one number, fine. It's not people's fault. I don't know my passwords. No clue. Okay. Taking off the cellophane. Pretty shiny. Super nice. So I'm just looking at the outside. This one definitely has a different flavor of gray. And I'm not sure if you guys could tell the difference. It's like shinier, more silver. So here we go. Put them up next to each other. And got the new one is on the right. It seems like it's a different shade of silver than the old one, which is on the left. A little bit different. Just a tiny, tiny little bit. let's see, the bands are in the same place. The bands, what I mean, are up here, the little antenna bands. That's what those lines are, by the way. Let's see here. Oh, maybe I should put the side of the phone next to each other, like the right sides. Okay. Buttons are exactly the same. Bands are exactly the same. The back is exactly the same. I'm really trying to find a difference here, seriously. It is exactly the same phone. Like, okay, well, you know, they say, oh, here's a difference. The new one looks like has a smaller microphone in the bottom there and an additional band, whereas the bottom one doesn't. You'll notice that these three, people think it's a speaker. It's not a speaker. People used to come in all the time to the Apple store and they'd say, like, one of my speakers is broken on the bottom of the phone. And we would say, it's not a speaker, it's a microphone. Or it's saying, it's not a speaker, it's a microphone, duh. But we wouldn't say that, no. Look at the bottom. Adam, you're like way ahead of me there. So Vicky's is also space gray. That's awesome. Just going to take a look at your comments real quick. Next year's iPhone is going to be a big upgrade. This was an S year. You were completely correct. The XS has an antenna band at the top. Indeed, it does. Good call. Good call. Look at the bottom. Absolutely, the cameras are different sizes. The XS camera jump is bigger. Okay. The new one has a different size camera compared to the iPhone X. I thought it did. Interesting. Interesting. I just didn't want to say that. You guys, just testing you guys, to be honest there, okay. Really cool. What is the top repairable part for this iPhone X except for broken screen? That's an interesting question, and not being an Apple tech anymore, I don't know the answer, but usually it's the power at the bottom, especially because if something goes wrong down here, you can't charge the phone, so it's an emergency. It's an emergency. And then the XS camera is a bigger sensor, deeper pixels for better low light pics. Okay, well, just to go off a little bit on this, and hold on, bear with me for 1 second, and I gotta just flip a switch on my camera over there. But just to go off for 1 second on what they say every single year about every single iPhone. Whenever a new iPhone comes out, you guys are used to this by now, it has the best camera ever in a smartphone. There's never been an iPhone that was released that doesn't have the best camera ever in a smartphone and has the best low light pictures in a smartphone and is just the best thing ever. So let's just flip this switch. Now, have you guys actually seen a difference in the photo quality? I mean, Vicky maybe can tell us the answer to that. I haven't taken a picture yet with the new one or the old one. Now, if you guys can tell right here, my little studio here, I set up in the second bedroom of my apartment, which is pretty cool, but sometimes we have little technical issues and we are back. Sweet. Where is David? It always has the best camera every year. David is not here, unfortunately. He's phoning it in tonight. No, David is at home tonight, and he will be getting an iPhone XS hopefully eventually. But he only recently got and I'm also David, so yeah, also David. So hi. I miss him too, to be honest. Is it possible to unlock an iCloud locked iPhone bought from eBay? No. It's unfortunate. Adam asks, why didn't I decide to get another color? Why didn't I decide to get another color? This is a good question, Adam. And I think it requires an explanation. I mean, why do I decide to get any color? I guess I want to fit in with the black. If anything, we could say that it's, I don't want to be different than anybody, I like the gold one, but I wasn't sure that it was going to really look that good. The silver one, I think, is kind of bleh. So I went with the black to be safe. Tuna Kebab, was it really worth upgrading from an iPhone X to an iPhone XS? Why not an iPhone XS Max? Yeah. That is a good question. The reason I didn't get the XS Max is because I don't want a phone that's that big. I think that this is a really good size for a phone. I don't need a phone that is any bigger than this. And I know that everybody says that before they get the new phones, the bigger ones, but there's something about this size that I like. It's not that I couldn't get the other one. I prefer this size. Anyway, get we want David number 2. We do too, seriously. He's going to be so happy that you guys missed him. Tuna Kebab, like seriously, he is going to be stoked. Are you going to go live with the Apple Watch Series 4? Yeah, maybe David will, if he gets one. I don't have one of those. I have my old Apple Watch. Not the biggest fan of the Apple Watch. Let's keep going in the box real quick. Apple stickers. Do you guys ever use these for anything? Does anybody want these? Seriously? I mean, Apple stickers, I've never even used them before. On anything, I've got piles of them. We've got our AirPods here with lightning connector, not wireless. Or not AirPods, earpods with lightning connector. And where are the AirPods, Apple? Come on. I mean, it's not like you're not charging enough for the phone, right? It's like $1,200. Maybe you could throw us a bone with some Bluetooth headphones. Jeez. All right, let's see. Lightning cable with the cool little fasteners. Super cool. And then another USB power adapter. How many USB power adapters do you guys have lying around? I have about 1 million of them. And just really building my collection of lightning cables until they change to a USB 3 connector cable, probably next time around, and then we'll have 8,000 lightning cables that don't work with anything anymore. And by the way, it's not like I can plug this into my Mac, which is a newer Mac and doesn't have a USB port. Oh, by the way, thanks, Apple. Apple is really good at letting you buy connectors, adapters. They're really good at that. Okay. Yeah, TechKey still has his iPhone 5 Apple stickers. Indeed. Apple Watch Series 4, they love it. Okay. Tuna Kebab, he has one as a Sony laptop. I like it. EarPods, right, exactly. Not AirPods. You are totally correct. All right, let's turn on the phones and see what happens. Hello. I got my old phone right here. So it says, swipe up to open. English? Wow, set up new iPhone. Already on the old device. How about that? Set up your new iPhone. This will transfer your current settings. Unlock to continue. Look at that stuff. Use your Apple ID. All right, waiting for the other phone. Hold your new iPhone up to the camera. This is super cool how they did this. Just super cool. All right, let's see. How does this thing work? You should see people try to figure this out at the Apple Store. Okay. Finish on new iPhone. Keep this iPhone near your new iPhone where information is transferred. Enter the passcode. Sorry, guys. Boom. I don't want you guys running off with my iPhone. It's not that I don't trust you. It's, you know. All right. I'll tell you David's passcode. All right, it's travel. The 3.5 millimeter to lightning connector is in the tennis box. Oh no, it's part of this, right? Isn't it in here? No. Is it not in here? Is it not in here? Are you serious? Are you serious that, hey Kareem, thank you for watching the videos. There's no 3.5 millimeter. There's no air. Wow, it's unbelievable. No headphone jack adapter in the box. It's like, you know, I don't know, guys. Sometimes with Apple, I'm just like, you know, got to put my billing zip code here and the PIN number stuff. Let's see. Activating my phone. Pretty cool. It may take a few minutes to activate my phone. Yeah, one of the silliest reasons why customers came to the Apple Store for regarding their phone. Do I have AirPods? Do I? Right here. Love them. Apple are so cheap. Well, it's not like they have like the most cash of any company in the world. It's funny, when I was at the Apple Store, I felt the same way. Tuna Kebab, are you an Apple tech? You one of us? One of us. Data and privacy. This icon appears when an Apple feature asks to use your personal information. You won't see this with every feature, since Apple collects this information only when needed to, you know, with every feature. Okay, right. Apple believes privacy is a fundamental human right. Here we go. So every Apple product is designed to minimize the collection and use of your data, use on-device processing whenever available, and provide transparency and control over your information. Sounds good? Okay, let's continue. Face ID. First, position your face in the camera, then move your head in a circle. Oh wait, I gotta do it there. Move iPhone a little lower. I remember when they leaked this thing. There we go. First scan complete. Oh, I totally blew it. Okay. Face ID is now set up. Continue. Setting up your Apple ID. Fabulous. Looks like night shift is turned on or something. It's like very warm. I don't know if you guys can tell that color temperature of the phone. Oh, you know what it is? The True Tone display is what that is. With iOS 12, they don't require you to insert a SIM card. Well, I think that this phone comes with a SIM card built in because I got it with the Verizon. So there is a SIM card in here. And what would have happened is that my old one would have deactivated automatically. And that's actually been happening for a while with the iPhones. So, do I want to restore from an iCloud backup, an iTunes backup, set up as a new iPhone, or move it from Android? I'm surprised it doesn't just be like, hey, you know, we'll just go from an iCloud backup. iOS 12, oh, latest backup today at 8:29 p.m. iOS 12.1 required, or I can restore from my iPad, which I'm not going to do. So, what do you have to do, people? What do you have to do? This used to happen all the time, too. iOS 12.1 required. Fabulous. Is iOS 12.1 out? This is where, if you're running a beta version of the software on your phone, it could be kind of annoying. So what I'm going to have to do, actually, is upgrade my old iPhone to iOS 12 beta, or the new one to iOS 12 beta, before it's even going to like entertain the idea of putting my iCloud backup onto it. And the way that the betas happen with Apple developer accounts is you have to install a software profile on the iPhone. And you get that profile from Apple. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to speed through this setup process, set it up as a new phone. No 12.1 beta. 12.1 is in beta now. That's the thing. Apple wants people to buy. It is True Tone, you're right. Tuna kebab. The reason True Tone display goes a little crazy in here is that the studio lighting is very cool, so it just tries to compensate and make everything very warm. Keep your iPhone up to date. I'm just going to speed through this process because I just need to get to the main home screen so I'm just going to end up DFU restoring the phone anyway, so it doesn't matter. Does not matter. Set that up later. Just get me to the home screen. Take me home. Just skipping everything right now. Skipping everything. Let's see. True Tone display. Whatever. Go home. Switch between. Continue, continue, continue. Swipe up. Thank you. Perfect. I've got a new phone with nothing on it. Solid. Solid. Interesting. I'm always curious to know what's going on in the background of the phone right now. Let's see. Can I iMessage myself? I should be able to, yeah. I should be signed in at least. So I'm going to need to iMessage myself a software profile. Fun stuff. Fun stuff. Hey, in my country, iPhone XS base model costs $2,000. That does suck, indeed. Will you be using the battery-saving tips in this phone and try to preserve the battery as long as possible, or no? Well, yeah, of course. Of course. The iCloud, the same tumor needs, I need money for my iCloud storage option, which is indeed. Yeah, and Leo, yes, I'm in beta. And Tuna Kebab definitely will be using the battery-saving tips. I think that a lot of the settings are going to transfer from my old backup to the new one, but I never have battery problems with my iPhone. And it really comes down to a few different few different things. It's never a whole lot of different things. Location services, when they go crazy, it's push mail, it's notifications that you don't need to have on, it's background app refresh, it's all that good stuff. So what I need to do is go to Apple's website and get this software profile. Developer.apple.com. Let's see here. So should we give away something, maybe? Thinking? Give away $5, Amazon gift card? What should our trivia question be? Apple trivia. Sometimes I think of these things, and I think to myself, I'm driving around and I'm saying, this would be a really cool question to ask people. Okay. Could do something about a Mac. All right, $5, Amazon gift card. Which model Mac is the only one without a Retina display? $5, Amazon. Which Mac is the only one without a Retina display? Log into my Apple developer account. Got to get this software profile. All right, there we go, David. That's great. Just getting this profile real quick that I can download. And then I'm going to text it to myself. So here we go. We are going to get the beta configuration profile. Bang. Okay, messages. Okay. Opening up the Messages app on my Mac so I can do this easily. Put myself in there. Boom. Beta profile. Okay. Let's get out of that. Here I am. Look at that. Ladies and gentlemen. So if you get yourself a profile in the Messages app here, let me get back to OBS here. And I'm sure that somebody has gotten the answer yet. Sorry if I dropped some frames there for you guys. It was indeed the Air. So who was the Air person? The first one. All right. First person with the Air is Vicky. Vicky. Awesome. Would you please give me your email address and I will send you a $5 Amazon gift card when this is over. Okay, fun stuff. If you get a file like the iOS 12 beta profile in your Messages app, just click on it, go to the share button down here and save it to the Files app. Just put it on your phone. Doesn't matter, does it? GarageBand, sure, doesn't matter. Then head to the Files app. And head down, well, there's the one right there. I just did something wrong, didn't I? How about that? I've done this before. What did I do wrong? How do I do this, people? I've done this before. Do I have to do it directly on the device? That's probably what I have to do, right? Well, that was a waste of time. Sorry, people. Head to Apple's developer website. Got a login account. Apple ID. We'll just take this out of here and put in some passwords. So if you guys aren't familiar with Apple's developer website, it gives you access. You can release apps and do app development. And we use it for push notifications on the website so we can send people updates. And you also get access to all the beta stuff. So if I just download here, the configuration profile, we want to do this. Which device would you like to install it on? The iPhone. Just say install. Enter my passcode. Let's say it's install. It's pre-release software. Restart, restarting. Okay. Now when my phone turns back on, it will be able to upgrade to the most recent version of iOS. Vicky, thank you for that email address. Tech Key, yep, it's after. Thank you guys for helping out with that. And yes, don't you worry, I got your email. You need to do it on the device, not on your MacBook. Resno, you know, I was just testing you guys again. What app is it and what exactly does it do again? So those software profiles allow your iPhone to always download the most recent beta onto your device. So you can, the old way to do it was you would just download a new version of the firmware every time a beta version came out, but then they started doing the over-the-air software profile way, and then you can go from one beta to the next. I remember one time when I got my developer account, the first time iOS 6 was out, and I installed iOS 6 on all my friends' phones because I thought it was super cool that I could do that, and they all wanted to have the new stuff because it had some cool features. But it was a really early beta version, and so it was horrible. So all their phones started breaking, and then they were complaining to me about how I broke all their phones. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but it was pretty annoying because, you know, and I said to myself back then, I am never going to install a beta version on my friend's phone ever again because it breaks. Just curious, how does someone transform their website into an app using developer account? The way to two different things. So the developer account lets you, in this context, publish on the App Store. So gives you access to do that. And then there's a whole bunch of different ways to turn a website into an app. There are all these third-party frameworks that let you do it. I think one is called Xamarin. And there are also companies. I'm sure that if you Google turn website into app, you'll find a whole bunch of them that will do it. Not necessarily the best idea always, though. Apps really should only be used, in my experience and opinion, for things that websites can't do. Otherwise, websites are the way to go. So, and if you think about it, as you know, cool as apps seem to be, when was the last time you guys downloaded an app? Actually, that's a pretty good question. What was the last app that you guys downloaded, and why did you download it? And do you frequently download new apps, or are you sort of set? Because I think that when these phones came out, people just downloaded a whole ton of apps, and then we really don't download that many anymore. I think it's like one a month is the average that people download. Want to try the Shortcuts app, but it's very detailed and gets confusing. Indeed, indeed. All right, Friday, September 21st. All right, let's see here. So if I go to General Software Update, I'll show you guys. Now I can get the iOS 12.1 developer beta, whereas before I could not. So I'm just going to hit download and install. And you know what? I'm concerned that this is going to screw up our stream, but I just hope it's not, because I mean, we're talking the difference here between, of course, upload and download speeds, but it looks like we're doing okay. Are we doing okay? All right, I think we're doing okay. We're hanging in there. Stream quality is not easy to maintain, let me tell you guys. We tried to do the Apple live stream recently, and it took like 80% of the event for us to figure out how to stream the event correctly. So, and yeah, it does look like we might be having a little issue with the quality. So it would be better if David was here. It's true, I agree, Tuna Kebab. I totally do agree. David is awesome. That's all there is to it. Gotta say it. David Lynch, DL. DL is awesome. I am so glad to have the team that I do that works with me. I think it's awesome. We have an awesome team right now. Best people I've ever worked with. It's absolutely crazy. To have a business like this where I get to, every day is different, where I get to work on problems or, you know, running a website. If you guys have any questions about how to run a website or make money online, you can also ask those. But yeah, awesome graphic designer in Atlanta, awesome user experience designer in San Diego. Craig is in San Diego. We have our Heather, our Facebook extraordinaire in the Facebook group, lives in New York. David and I live somewhat near each other, so we hang out quite a bit. I have a developer in Poland and some other help overseas, and It's just like this worldwide team of people, and we run it out of my apartment. Like, I actually bought a bigger apartment so that I could put in a studio in the second bedroom of my apartment. So we're, even though we've helped 70 million people or something over the last few years, it's not like we're big like a lot of the other guys, but we're getting there. We are so getting there. So last downloaded app is Shortcuts. At Payette Forward, will you be doing more live streams? Are you the boss, David? Yeah, I'm the boss, David, totally. So I started Payette Forward. My last name is Payette. So that's like where, when I was at the Apple store, people used to, they were calling me Payette Forward. They're like, well, Payette Forward. And I was like, that's an awesome name. So I decided to start my own web design business after I quit Apple. And I called it Payette Forward, and my goal was to build websites for local business people. The only article I'd ever written went viral. 5 million people read it in a week. And I moved to Hawaii, and I lived there for a couple of years and just wrote articles, hung out with friends, worked on the beach. And then I was like, hey, I want to take this business to the next level. And living in Hawaii is not going to let me do that. So I moved back to New York and hired a team, and we do our best. We do it in a shoestring budget, and it's fun. It's great. I wouldn't trade it. It's a great life. Where can I contact you if I ever need a graphic designer? You can just email contact@payetteforward.com, and I will steer you in the direction of Steven. Absolutely. Actually, yeah. If you need a graphic designer, here, I will put his website in the chat. When did you quit Apple? Thank you, Tuna Kebab. I appreciate it. You too. I quit Apple in 2013 is when I left. Shortly after, they gave me this awesome hoodie, which I still have. Yeah, my time at Apple was good. I learned a ton. I think one of the most valuable things I learned was the things that normal people struggle with phones, the people that, because I've always been a tech guy, of course, and into the latest stuff, and I've never really struggled with technology. But there are a lot of people who do. And so that was the number one thing that I gained, was perspective into what people struggle with. So we were able to start to write articles in language that everybody could understand. And we don't talk down to people, and we treat people with respect, and we help people to know that they can fix it themselves. And we try to break down those walls where people are skittish about technology. I really enjoyed at Apple when I had the opportunity to sit one-on-one with people and teach them how to do things. There was a blind gentleman that I worked with a lot, and his name was Michael, and he would come in and he had a Jambox, which was those little Bluetooth speakers back in the day, and he was amazing at using it and doing everything with either voice or voiceover, which is the older school, or just using Siri and stuff. And it's really cool when you see how accessibility features actually improve the lives of people. And they really do. Like how dictation, yeah, it's cool for me to be able to use it, but for other people, I have another friend, not to get too dark, a friend who was injured, and he can't write anymore, but he can, this is kind of dark, but it's true, he can use dictation. He just has a dyslexia thing. He can use dictation to send text messages, and it really, without dictation, he wouldn't be able to do a lot of the things that he can do. So it really does a lot of good stuff. Will you be buying the rumored Apple car from 2023 to 2025? There has been a rumored Apple car for a long time. Will you be buying it? I'm going to save up for my Tesla Roadster so I can go 0 to 60 in 1.9 seconds. I don't know. Will you ever get a join button on your YouTube? I hope so. Why did I quit Apple? That is a story for another day. Why did I quit Apple? It was time to go, is why. And it was time to go. I learned a lot. I met a lot of great people there. The new fail safety feature on the Apple Watch 4 is also a great advantage for people. Absolutely it is. Absolutely it is. I love that stuff, where you start seeing how people can actually, their lives get better as a result of the technology. So with regard to this developer beta, which is sort of what we're in the holding pattern for, we are currently Sorry about the laggy video a little bit here, and it's because of this developer beta. We got 22 minutes remaining. So I guess that really, unfortunately, my unboxing video was supposed to be, you know, helping people get set up with the new iPhone, but it's turning into not that. So let's hang out for a few more minutes. Gonna have to do this thing. That's what it is, being a developer beta. So, do you guys have any other questions for me, or any sort of you know, thoughts about feedback, anything like that? We could do another. I think we should probably do another trivia question for $5 because I've only given away 15 bucks so far. So please subscribe to this channel. We really appreciate your support. We're growing quickly, which is great. We don't cheat. We do it the old-fashioned way where we don't buy subs like a lot of channels do. So we're like, you know, try to be honest and try to do the right thing by people. Let's see. Let's make up some trivia questions about Apple. And you know who hasn't really made an appearance today, which is surprising, is Tim Cook.
This is phenomenal.
Tim has really
It's absolutely gorgeous.
excited about this. And
This beautiful custom table.
here it is.
This beautiful custom table.
Thank you. Tim,
It is so cool and so simple.
so simple. And
We are so proud to be a part of it.
Thank you, Tim. Don't buy subs. We never do, we never have, and we never will. Absolutely. And you can tell the channels that have subs, they've got like 8 million subs and then they put up a video and 12 people watch it. They're not real. But then there's really cool channels that have lots of subs and they put up a video and they get tons of views, which is also really cool and awesome. So it was never my intention to become a YouTube person, but the thing is, like, everything's going to video, especially for how-to stuff. So, you know, gotta go with it. Otherwise you get left in the dust. Because when I go to fix something, especially if it's something that I don't really understand, like a car or something, I go right to YouTube. I watch somebody who knows what they're talking about, how to fix it, and a lot of us do that. So everything's going video. Facebook wants to be 100% video in their feed by 2020, which is pretty amazing if you think about it. I think that we're on the way, certainly. As long as you have a good internet connection, which is one of the things that they struggle with, because a lot of the people in the world don't have LTE. So, tuna kebab. They found a way. Interesting. You guys are talking about the Apple car. Niece did not know that people buy subs. Indeed. Fall features of car crashes. Right. Interesting. It is really an interesting thing. Like the safety features that they're building in. It is very cool. Very cool. I was going to do a trivia question. I'm going to cheat a little bit here. I'm not going to Google it. Trust me. It's like, oops, sorry guys. Hold on one second. It's like the secret of the Genius Bar is like, oh, we have to go check it back on something, and then we go to a computer and just Google it for you. Oh yeah, we know the answer to that. No problem. We got that. We didn't just Google it for you. That's what we do. But not all the time. Certainly not all the time. People at the Genius Bar are smart. I learned a lot from those people. I learned a lot. I wouldn't be doing this today if I hadn't worked at Apple. That is for sure. Learned a ton of great skills there. I wouldn't trade my time there. Not for anything. And I still stay in touch with a lot of my old Apple comrades. A lot of them have left Apple by this point and are doing other things. Some of them are actually at Apple corporate. A couple of them are. That's sort of like the goal of the Apple employee is to go to Apple corporate, go to Cupertino. That's how you know you've made it. But Apple is not exactly Apple corporate is tough. It is like a total workaholic culture, and they will work you to the bone. But you know, you get paid well and stuff, and they've got a mystique about it. But just bear in mind, the companies on the outside are never what they appear to be exactly on the inside. So Apple is wonderful at creating a brand. Absolutely. And they're also really great at making money, in case you guys hadn't, figured that one out yet. They are really good at that. Apple trivia. Let's see. This is not Apple computer trivia. Geez, I Googled it and here I am going, just apples. Just like Granny Smiths and stuff. Jeez. Oh dear, oh dear. This is kind of a fun one. What famous astronomer sued Apple for using his name as a code word in an upcoming computer? Famous astronomer sued Apple for using his name as a code word for an upcoming computer. $5 Amazon gift card. It's a cool story, actually. Which famous astronomer sued Apple for using his name as a code word for an upcoming computer? Let's see. Why doesn't my YouTube video load when I'm on my data, but it does when I'm on Wi-Fi? Go to settings, was it cellular data? Cellular? And cellular data. Make sure you have cellular data turned on for YouTube. Which future products would you like Apple to? Yeah, Sagan, bang, done. Vicky, throw your email address in the, nice job, by the way. Throw your email address in there, $5, it's worth it. So when Apple began work in the Power Mac in the early 90s, it was codenamed Carl Sagan. This was a play on Sagan's catchphrase, billions and billions, and the hope was that it would make Apple that much money internally, right? So the code name was used only internally and never in a public forum. So I'm getting this just to be totally transparent from a website that I Googled at CIO.com. So the code name was only going to be used, it was only going to be used internally, never public. So nonetheless, when Sagan heard of it, some speculate via an internet message board, he sued Apple. Sagan lost, but Apple engineers still complied with his request and changed the name to BHA, which referred to Butthead Astronomer. So Carl Sagan, he sued again, this time for libel, and lost again. So the Power Mac 7100 debuted in March 1994 with no reference to the famed astronomer, and it did not make Apple billions and billions. So Carl Sagan, he went on a little kick there, suing people. You know, hey, you know what, Vicky? He's got a perfect right to do everything that he did. He is a cool dude. All right. That's a fun story, though. All right. Sweet. Hey, Vicky, that's 2 for you. That's $10. Bang. Resno Trots, bye-bye. I need to sleep. You know what? I'm with you. I wish that we could have made more progress today in this live chat, but I am happy that we were able to spend some time together. And I think we're going to wrap it up because we're just unfortunately not going to be able to get to the whole setup process right now. But I just want to thank you guys for bearing with me tonight, and we'll do more live streams. The thing is,